Alright everybody, on this video I'm going to see if I can put a way of filtering these exhaust fans, and also for cold, these are a shutter fan. They have a shutter on the outside, but whenever the wind blows, the shutters open and close and it allows cold air to come in. And winter's coming, and so I've been adding insulation into this, and what this is, there's no wood, it's all metal. The whole building is built out of C-channel, and I've been trying to add this insulation back in here, and I've got to put things like this 1-inch square tubing to try to help hold that. And some of the spots I've used what they call plumber's tape. Right here is some plumber's tape, and I just screwed that in on both sides and I pulled it tight, and it does a good job holding this in. And the roof, I've done all of the ceiling with the same plumber's tape. It works really well. The ceiling's been done now for years. That up there is, I just got that done like 2 days ago. There's a lot of insulation in there, but anyway, the last step to do is these fans. So I bought some of this. This is the thicker stuff, and I'm going to see if I can make a way. Over here, these light switches, that is what turns my fans on and off. Let's see if I can make a way to put like a pull cord right here, where I can pull that cord and it go over with like a pulley system, and then hold a couple pieces of those styrofoam and go up and down. And my light right there, the EMT tubing comes into the light right there, so it'll have to be split at somehow so that will work. I may end up having to put weights on the bottom, make it to where it slides straight up and straight down. And so the fans, I've measured, that is almost 7 inches. So if I came out with a box, if I built a box onto that, it comes out 7 inches, it will clear the fan. Then I can put a filter, and then I can have my styrofoam on the outside of the filter. That's my plan. I boxed all that in a few days ago, and where it's at right now, and I'm going to see if I can get some of this 14 gauge steel, and it's pretty heavy. It doesn't need to be that heavy. I could even do that with plywood or something. I'm gonna see if I can find my pulleys and find my things that I've been collecting for the last 6 months, and I'll cut you back on once I get a better plan. This is the filter that I have. This is for filtering out the paint, so that whenever I turn my fans on and I'm painting in here, all of the overspray will be going out and getting all over everything outside. This filter is made for that, so that it will filter out all of the paint particles, to where if I have something, or the neighbor's car or whatever, nothing will get on any of that stuff. So the plan is to put that in. So I need to add about 1 inch. So I'm going to come out to clear the motor on this fan, 7 inches, and I will leave about 1 inch for the filter area. And then I'm going to add on 2 inches for this foam board. And I really don't want to build this with all of that 14 gauge steel or 16 gauge steel, whichever it is, but I think I'm going to, because I really don't want to redo this. So I'll just build it once and I'll cry once, and then it will be here forever, the rest of my life, and as long as a storm doesn't get it. And I'm going to use this here to help me hold that. So I'm going to cut this in sections, and then I can use this. I can fit this like that onto that, and around here cut a few inches and use that to hold the other piece on. So in my head this makes sense, and hopefully it'll make sense here in a little bit, because I'm fixing to start cutting some metal. I'll drag this out. This needs to be really square. Hopefully I have enough metal. I've got another piece somewhere. So anyway, I'll cut you back on in a minute. Alright, so what I did is I just marked out 30 inches this way and 10 that way. I'm using this as a guide so that I can cut a straight line with this plasma cutter. And now I'm going to cut this one, and I'll have the first side piece up right on the side. I'm gonna make those and put those in first, and then we'll figure out what to do after that. Alright, now I'm taking these, they're about 3 inches, and I'm putting them, just kind of centering them up here. I'll put one close to the top and one close to the bottom, and then I will put my side piece onto that. So 2 screws like that right here, and then 2 screws into that panel. See if I can get this done without falling here. And then I've marked right there where 7 inches is, so that I can put my brace to hold my filter in place. Alright, so right in the middle, I put this a little bit wider one. It's close to 4 inches wide, and I'm going to be able to put 2 panels. They're down there. So one panel basically covers half of the width here. And these, just when the wind blows, these open and close, and it's letting all of my heat escape. And hopefully this will stay. But anyway, I can feel breeze right now just blowing in. It's not even cold outside today. So what I'm going to do is put each piece, and I'm going to screw that on. This is really high up. Right there is 16 feet. So if I was to fall, it would not be cool. I try to put the screws from the top like I have these side ones. And I will cut you back on once I get a little bit further here. Alright, I'm going to have to take a small break from this, but this top one, what I did is I cut it 2 inches shy of what the sides and the bottom are. I went ahead and put some angle brackets on the edges to hold it into place. And I do know that is there. I've got some leftover sound deadener from building vehicles. What I might do is put that sound deadener over that crack right there. That will also help vibration sound. Down here I also put an L bracket, angle that, and I set that in on the inside. There's my 7-inch mark. So all of my screws are inside there, so that whenever I put my filter in, it will sit this side of that line, so those screws will not be in the way of my filter. That's what I've got for right now. A friend of mine needs a project built, and he's going to be in a hurry. I'm going to go ahead and put this on pause and get his project knocked out for him real quick, and see if I can get back on this. I just took some of this wire that you're supposed to bury under concrete, and that will make the filter not be sucked into the fan, and it will hold its shape pretty good. I cut out 2 pieces of this, and what my plan is, I don't know which direction this is supposed to go. I think I'm going to put the blue side toward this metal, and then I'm going to work it up and put it in between some of these screws. I've already fit this piece, and it did fit, So those screws right there, what I can do is just place it in there and it should hold. And these cover top to bottom just a hair big, and then it will cover all the way to the middle. So they will kind of overlap in the middle. And I left it a little bit long right here, so if I have to twist them together, I don't think I will, but we'll see how well they fit. Alright, I've got all of that put in. Now I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to make this go in. I've got it cut to the size. It might be just a hair wide. I may have to cut 1/2 inch of that off to get it to where it will slide up and down freely. And then I will have to notch around where the EMT comes into this light right here. And then I'm going to see if I can make some kind of angle iron on the outside of that to hold it in. And then we'll figure out a way to make it lift after that. Hopefully this is going to work. We'll see. Okay, so ended up at the very top, the part where it goes up was hitting. It's extra long because I wanted it to be able to ride in a track and go back down. So those corners do not interfere with holding back all of the air. This hole's bigger than anything. There's a little bit right here, but nothing major. And up at the top where I've angled it does not show. All I have to do now is figure out a way to put a some kind of rope and a pulley system. I'll figure that out. See, I think over here somewhere in that pile of junk I have the rope and pulleys that I've ordered. I'll see if I can locate it. See if I can get this done here in the next day or two. Alright, I'll cut you back on a little while. Oh yeah, so right there I've just put a piece of angle iron. That's some angle iron that I had laying around from building this building. So I've built that 3 feet long, and I've gave it a little bit here on the bottom, and it's extra long on top so that that insulation can just ride in that track and go up and down, hopefully smoothly. This side, the screws go in through that way, and so the extra long screw is going to drag slightly on the insulation. I wanted to be able to do it with the screw coming out on this end. You can see the screw is coming out right there, but I'm only able to do that on one end because I wouldn't be able to get in there with the screw gun, so I figured that out. But anyway, alright, I'll catch you back on in a little while. I found my pulleys. They were right where I thought that they were. I looked for an hour yesterday and I didn't find them, and I wasn't even looking today, and I spotted them pretty quick. So that is what that is, if that makes sense. We'll climb up the ladder. I gotta crawl in behind this EMT tubing, and I've mounted that one right there. It looks like it's gonna work really well. So what I did is I just marked down about 2 inches, and I went ahead and cut a little piece, and I measured in 20 inches from the edge to there and 2 inches down, poked a hole, did the same on both sides, and I've got this to where I can move it back and forth or it move on its own for the weight distribution of that. And what I'm going to do now is go over there and I'm going to put another pulley. I'm going to move this ladder. We'll make sure this works really well. I want to be able to pull this from over here next to where my light switch is that controls my fans, and it'd be a good thing to have a way to tie that rope. I can pull the rope and then tie it. That would be good. So with it tied, they will be up, and then I can untie the rope, make a little hooky thing or something. Maybe a hooky thing would be easier than tying it. I'm gonna see what I can rig up on that, make it easier. And anyway, this is one of those ladders that changes to an A-frame and extends out, and you can adjust the height and everything. And a Harbor Freight ladder, like a, what do they call them, little something or others, little giants, something like that. So anyway, I'm gonna come over here, probably to this C-channel beam right there that I have, and I can come down over to here, and it will be right where I need it, I think. All right, I'll cut you back on in a minute. What I decided to do is I took one of those rings, like for your keys. This is a cheap one, but you can pull the rope down. I put a screw right here. It's pretty tight. I assume as I use this that it will get more slack in it. I figure it'll pull that rope a little bit tighter. But anyway, then I took my extra slack and I went around so that I will always remember, oh yeah, I gotta pull that. So I don't know what would happen if I was to turn the fans on with that down. It should suck just the same. Those filters are pretty thin. And I will unhook that, and it goes right down just like that. Pretty awesome. I put a pulley right here and then a pulley right there, and then I've got the pulley over there, and it goes down. Pretty awesome. All right, now that I'm done with this, I can get started on some of this. Good old rust repair. And hopefully I can finish this Pathfinder soon. All right, till next time, y'all have an awesome day, like or whatever. All right, bye-bye.